Every year, tens of thousands of missing person reports are filed in the United States. A sea of faces, each with a story, suddenly gone. For most, the wait is brief, a misunderstanding, a reunion. But for some, the silence stretches on, days turning to years, questions left hanging in the cold air. These are the cases that haunt investigators and families alike, the ones where the trail simply goes cold. In this video, we'll examine 5 missing person cases that defy logic and explanation. We'll look at what's known, what's missing, and where the official explanations fall short. Let's begin with the first case. It was supposed to be a simple trip. A college student, a bus ride, nothing unusual. He was heading home for a long weekend, just another face in the crowd, with nothing to suggest that this journey would be any different from the countless others he'd taken before. He was bright, well-liked, with no known troubles. Friends described him as responsible and cheerful, someone who always kept in touch and never missed a call home. He boarded the bus on a crisp autumn afternoon, quiet and unremarkable among the other passengers. The bus was half full, filled with students, commuters, and travelers, all lost in their own thoughts. At a routine rest stop, he got off, walked toward the convenience store, and was never seen again. The stop was brief, just enough time for passengers to stretch their legs or grab a snack. When the bus was ready to leave, he didn't return. A quick search turned up nothing, but the driver, pressed for time, continued the journey, assuming the student had found another ride or simply changed his mind. His belongings, backpack, wallet, phone, were left on the bus. Everything he needed for the trip, untouched, as if he'd only stepped away for a moment. Investigators scoured the rest stop, reviewed incomplete surveillance footage, and found only more questions. The area was combed for clues, but nothing pointed to where he might have gone. The cameras showed him entering the building, but not leaving. Did he slip out a side door? Get into a car? No evidence. The footage was grainy and several angles were missing, leaving investigators frustrated. K9 units and helicopters searched the surrounding fields. Nothing. Not a single trace, no footprints, no discarded items, just silence and empty space. There were no warning signs, no secret life, no reason to run. His friends and family were left bewildered, unable to find any explanation for his disappearance. The idea that he would walk away from everything, leaving his possessions behind, was unthinkable. He had plans, dreams, and people waiting for him at home. With no body, no evidence of foul play, and no witnesses, the case stalled. The investigation slowed, but the questions only grew more urgent. The trail wasn't just cold, it was non-existent. It was as if he had simply vanished into thin air, leaving behind a mystery that would haunt everyone who knew him. A young man stepped off a bus and into a void, leaving behind only a growing question mark. To this day, his disappearance remains one of the most baffling unsolved cases, a chilling reminder of how someone can vanish without a trace. Home is supposed to be a sanctuary, but what if someone vanishes from within with no sign of a breach? She was a professional woman, living quietly in a city apartment. Her routine was predictable: work, home, occasional visits with friends. On the day she vanished, she spoke to her mother while preparing dinner. Nothing unusual. The next day, she didn't show up for work. Calls went unanswered. Police found her apartment undisturbed, half-chopped vegetables, purse and keys on the table, car in the garage. No sign of struggle, no forced entry, door locked from the inside. It was as if she'd been there one moment and simply wasn't the next. Investigators found no evidence, no foreign fingerprints, no clue out of place. The question: how does someone vanish from a locked apartment, leaving everything behind? Theories swirled: secret exits, someone with a key, but nothing fit. Her life stopped in her own kitchen, and no one knows why. In the digital age, our phones track our every move, but sometimes the trail ends with a single, haunting call. He was an experienced outdoorsman, comfortable in the wilderness. On a solo trip, he called his family. Calm, casual, nothing amiss. That was the last anyone heard from him. When he didn't return, search teams combed the forest, guided by his phone's last signal. No trace, no gear, no campsite, not even a footprint. Witnesses reported confusing, contradictory sightings, someone matching his description miles away. A car like his seen and then gone. Did he change plans? Was he with someone else? The calm call seemed to rule out sudden danger. The official theory, he succumbed to the elements, his remains lost in the vast wilderness. But his family insists he was too prepared, too experienced. The lack of evidence, the strange sightings, and the total disappearance of his gear keep the case open. His final phone call lingers. A message from a man who vanished into silence. There is no disappearance more terrifying, more chilling than that of a child. It is a nightmare that every parent dreads, a fear that lingers in the back of every mind. One moment, a child is laughing and playing in the safety of their own front yard. The next, they're simply gone, as if swallowed by the air itself. It was a normal afternoon in a quiet suburb, the kind of place where neighbors wave and children ride bikes up and down the block. The mother glanced away for just a minute, maybe to answer the phone or check on dinner. Just a moment. When she looked back, the yard was empty. The laughter had stopped. The world seemed to freeze. The child's toy sat in the grass, untouched, but the child was nowhere to be seen. Panic set in instantly, a cold rush of fear. She searched the yard, the street, calling their name over and over, hoping for an answer, but hearing only silence. No cars sped away, no one heard a scream, no sign of struggle. It was as if the world had simply paused and erased the child. The disappearance was sudden and silent, leaving behind only questions and a growing sense of dread as day turned to night. Police responded immediately, canvassing the neighborhood, knocking on every door, questioning every resident. No one saw anything unusual. No unfamiliar cars, no strangers lurking, nothing out of place. The street was as ordinary as ever. The window of time was impossibly small, just minutes, maybe even seconds. It didn't seem possible. Search parties scoured parks, woods, and every corner of the neighborhood. The child's face appeared on every news channel, every telephone pole. Days turned to weeks, hope fading with each passing hour. Every lead was a dead end. Every tip led nowhere. The mystery only deepened. The child's toy became a heartbreaking symbol, the last thing they touched before vanishing, a silent witness to the tragedy. The case remains open, a raw wound for the family and the entire community who gather for vigils and hold on to hope. How can a child simply disappear from their own yard, in broad daylight, surrounded by neighbors and family? The question haunts everyone left behind, a mystery that refuses to fade, a story that echoes through every empty yard. For most people, a business trip is just another part of the job. A quick flight, a few nights in a hotel, meetings, and then a return to the comfort of home. It's a routine that's repeated countless times, blending into the background of daily life. But for one man, that familiar routine was shattered in a way no one could have predicted. He was a respected executive, a devoted family man, and his trip had been planned for weeks. He packed carefully, making sure to include everything he'd need, and shared a warm goodbye with his family at the door. At the airport, he hugged his loved ones, checked his bags, and boarded the plane with every intention of returning in just a few days. Airline records confirm he was on the flight, seated by the window, but after takeoff, his trail mysteriously goes cold. There's no security footage of him disembarking, no sign of him at the destination airport. as if he vanished into thin air. His suitcase was found circling the baggage carousel, unclaimed and untouched, a silent witness to his disappearance. He never checked into his hotel, never picked up his room key, and never attended the important conference he was scheduled for. Calls to his phone rang unanswered, then went straight to voicemail. His digital presence, emails, messages, social media, simply vanished overnight. Investigators were left with a maddening gap in the timeline. He boarded the plane, but after that, nothing. No one saw him again. There was no evidence of a medical emergency, no indication he was in distress, and no reason for him to disappear voluntarily. Airports are covered with cameras, yet not a single clear image of him exists after landing. It's as if he simply ceased to exist. His family, desperate for answers, insists he would never abandon them. They remember his promises, his plans for the future. There was no secret life, no hidden debts, no motive to run. His life was an open book. Theories abound, foul play, mistaken identity, even elaborate conspiracies. But without evidence, they remain nothing more than speculation. His suitcase held only the belongings of a man expecting to return home, a home he would never see again, leaving behind a mystery that haunts his loved ones to this day. These 5 cases share unsettling factors: missing surveillance, absent witnesses, personal belongings left behind, and investigations that hit a wall of silence. They are ordinary moments turned extraordinary, routine acts that became final. When evidence is missing from the start, the trail can go cold instantly. Families are left in limbo, unable to grieve or move on. These were real people, with real lives and loved ones. Their stories remain unfinished, their fates unknown, their last moments echoing in the void. Are these cases truly unsolvable, or are the answers still out there? Let us know what you think in the comments.